My name is Joel Sati. So I'm originally from Nairobi, Kenya, but I've lived all across the country. So I guess where I'm local now is New Haven, Connecticut. The title of my chapter is called Other Borders, the Illegal as Normative Metaphor. And the contribution that this chapter presents is looking at ways in which how we think can affect the how we present various problems in immigration discourse. And it also can forestall potentialities for comprehensive change. So looking at ways in which metaphor structures our thought, and also ways in which how those structures have come across in immigration discourse. So I focus on the dreamer narrative, and I focus on other examples as well.
Hi, my name is Grecia Mondragon. I was born in Morelos, Mexico, and raised in South Central Los Angeles. And I am currently living in the Midwest, but Los Angeles is home to me. And the title of my chapter is I Felt Like an Embarrassment to the Undocumented Community, Undocumented Students Navigating Academic Probation and Unrealistic Expectations. My contribution to the conversation with this chapter is to just really share the academic experiences of students who do not fit the dreamer narrative and are overlooked in academic literature in the mainstream media in general. And also, I hope that this chapter provides validation to any undocumented student who has struggled academically or who is currently struggling academically, and remind them that our worth and value is not based on our academic performance. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Gabrielle Cabrera. I'm a PhD candidate at Rutgers University in the Department of Anthropology. I was raised in California, but I was born in the Philippines. The title of my chapter is Disrupting Diversity: Undocumented Students in the Neoliberal University. In my chapter, I'm trying to call attention to the placement of undocumented students in higher education. Specifically, I'm considering the moral economies that surround undocumented youth by examining the notion of diversity and diversity initiatives in a University of California institution.
Hi, everyone. My name is Gabriela Monica, and I'm originally from El Salvador, but I moved to the United States when I was 16 years old. Currently, I live in Berkeley, California. The title of my chapter is Immigrant, Redefining Citizenship in the United States Immigrant Youth Movement. In my chapter, I highlight a vision for an inclusive immigrants' rights movement. And in particular, I look at the organizing work of youth who advocate for people outside of the mainstream discourse of immigration. Now, at the time of the study, I was undocumented. And while I think that really allowed me to understand some of the complexities of the immigrant experience, in particular, the undocumented immigrant experience, what I learned from the youth really broadened my perspective of what it means to belong in society as an immigrant. And so I'm hoping to be able to share some of those lessons learned with you guys.
Hi, my name is Gabriela Cruz, and I am the author of Contesting Citizenship, the Testimonies of Undocumented Immigrant Activist Women. The intervention that I hope to make with this chapter is to highlight the ways in which undocumented women have challenged notions of belonging through community engagement and storytelling. More so, through this, we have been able to re-envision and create a place where citizenship does not dictate self-value.
Hi everyone, my name is Carolina Valdivia and I'm currently a UC President's Postdoctoral Fellow in the Department of Sociology at UCLA. And I was born and raised in Mexicali, Baja California, and migrated to San Diego at the age of 12. And so I've always considered the US-Mexico borderlands as my home. And the chapter that I contributed to this collection is titled Undocumented Young Adults, Heightened Vulnerability in the Trump Area. And it focuses on the mental health consequences of living under the constant threat of deportation. The intervention that I'm trying to make with this chapter in particular is to highlight how undocumented community members with or without DACA are experiencing the current political moment in qualitatively different ways, and the toll that this is then having on their physical and mental health. And so this includes experiences with difficulty sleeping, anxiety attacks, and a wide range of psychosomatic symptoms.
Hi, my name is Maria Liliana Ramirez, but I go by my middle name, Liliana. I was born in Michoacán, Mexico, but I was raised in the San Gabriel Valley my whole life. The name of my chapter is Beyond Identity, Coming Out as UndocuQueer. The contribution that I'm trying to make in my chapter is to challenge reductionist frameworks that totalize experiences of undocumented immigrants to legal status. By exploring how undocumented queer immigrants navigate coming out on multiple levels, I highlight the ways in which undocumented queer people make sense of themselves without exclusively relying on their immigration status. Lastly, this chapter also explores how undocumented queer immigrants claim agency and resistance through their own understandings of being.
My name's Audrey Silvestre. I am from Mexico and grew up in Los Angeles. My chapter is titled Me Vestí de Reina, Trans and Queer Sonic Spatial Entitlement. This chapter takes up Frank Galarte's challenge to listen to what our trans community is telling us by centering the everyday experiences of trans women that in small but significant ways experience joy outside of the discourse of the nation state through space, sound, and visual. I dedicate this chapter to honor the life of Soraya Reyes, a trans undocumented immigrant rights organizer from Orange County.
Hello, everyone. My name is Lucia Leon. I was born in Puebla, Mexico, and migrated to Southern California as a child. The title of my chapter is Legalization Through Marriage, When Love and Papers Converge. And my main contribution to the conversation is to show the harmful ways that immigration law impacts people's most intimate aspects of their lives, namely their romantic relationships and how they have to represent their love when they're petitioning the state for legal status. And so through this, I'm trying to complicate this misconception that legalizing through marriage is an easy and quick pathway. Rather, I demonstrate that when facing this immigration process, the burden to prove that your marriage is legitimate pushes people to demonstrate their love in ways that feel very uncomfortable or very inauthentic. And so they really have to navigate this very complex situation that fuses their very intimate love lives with a life-altering legal process. And so often leaving people and couples with a lot of feelings of ambivalence or uncertainty about the impact that immigration law and particularly the legalization process is going to have on their long-term relationships, right? Their marriages, their intimate lives.
My name is Katia Maldonado Dominguez. I was born in Honduras, but raised in the Inland Empire of Southern California, and I'm currently in New Haven, Connecticut. The title of my chapter is Undocumented Queer Parenting, Navigating External and Internal Threats to Family. So my main contribution to the conversation is primarily a focus on undocumented queer parents and their strategies of survival and resistance when negotiating and reconfiguring families, specifically in the face of xenophobia and homophobia, which both aim to criminalize and dehumanize their existence.